For more now on the funding freeze and everything else, here he comes. Mick Mulvaney, an esteemed member of that Trump administration 1.0, as the congressman was just pointing out. He was talking about how well organized you guys were, loyal to the president. Now you got the job done, right? So,
Now, Connell, before you do that,
I'm not trying to cause
Roger's
any
still listening.
trouble.
Roger was my baseball coach when I was in Congress, so we are good friends.
Oh, is that right?
And he's not wrong about Trump 1.0. There were certainly members of the administration who weren't aligned with what the president was doing. I wasn't one of those. I was fully aligned. In fact, we can talk later on today, if you want to, about how we actually floated this Guantanamo idea back in 1.0. That came out of OMB. So no, don't get between me and Roger. We're good friends.
No, I'm only kidding. So I really want to talk to you about this funding situation, and I'm not even trying to be funny on this at all, that I don't understand 100% what's going on here, because you ran OMB, right? So they want to obviously review how much money we're spending, right? They want to take some time and take a look at it and freeze these programs. We get what the goal is. On execution, they said they were going to freeze them. Judge stepped in right around this time yesterday to say, hold on a second. Now they've rescinded that memo, but say stuff could still be frozen. So try to explain what you think is going on and what might happen next, if you can.
Yeah, I don't fully understand the rescission letter today.
Right.
I'm not sure why they did that. I was under the impression that what they wanted, that this was part and parcel. This is part of a chess game, Connell. This goes to a fundamental difference between the executive branch and the legislative branch. Presidents want the power of impoundment. When Congress says spend $100, President Trump wants to say, well, that sounds like a cap to me. I don't want to spend $100. I want to spend $92. And the $8 you told me to spend on DEI, I don't want to do that. That's an impoundment, and it's technically illegal under the Budget Control and Impoundment Act of 1974, the constitutionality which has never been thoroughly established. I thought this was the first chess move in a battle to try and get to the Supreme Court. The rescission memo seems to sort of throw up their hands and say, wait a second, never mind, we don't want these lawsuits anyway, because what the rescission memo does is sort of neuter the lawsuit from yesterday. So
but then his press secretary came out and said that some stuff's still frozen, you know, even though they're just rescinding the memo.
Yeah.
I honestly, I didn't know. This is Caroline Levitt today. In light of the injunction, OMB's rescinded the memo to end any confusion, which is, to me, I'm not even joking, slightly ironic, because it confused me more, and I wasn't sure what that meant. So maybe, but you very well could know what it means.
No, I'm just as confused as you are. I'm not sure, again, why the memo was put out today in light of where the lawsuit was yesterday, because it doesn't really do anything other than neuter the lawsuit. So now we're right back where we were before the memo that created all this came out. So it is very confusing to me. Here's what I think is happening, is that they're simply saying, look, to the extent we got a bunch of unwanted attention on this, to the extent maybe this might interfere with the confirmation of some of our Senate confirmees, or nominees, what we're going to do is just go back and do it the old-fashioned way, which is we're going to tell the agencies to start a thorough review of how they spend the money and make sure that the money that's going out the door is aligned with our interests, with our agenda. That's where they were 3 days ago, and I think that's where they're trying to get back to.
This is real quick, because we're over time. On the buyouts, they want federal workers to come back to the office, or they're offering them a buyout, essentially. Is there any issues there? Because I know some Democrats have been saying, you know, don't take the deal. This is, like Tim Kaine was saying, Trump's going to, he won't make good on it, essentially.
No, it's perfectly legal. I think it's a good idea. It's within the funding limitations and so forth. I think the problem they're going to have is this. If it takes 18 months to fire me, why would I take 8 months worth of pay? Why wouldn't I just not come back to work? So I think there's a real world difficulty they're going to have to face on this. But I think it's a great idea to try this.
Okay. We'll talk more about that a little later. Thank you, Mick, as always. It's always good to see you. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.